Today's buyers will scroll past your listing in 3 seconds. Here's what that means for you and how to be prepared. Let's be straight with you about something most agents won't say to you directly. Today's buyers are not like the buyers who purchased homes 20 or 30 years ago. They are younger, they are on their phones, they are comparing your listing to 12 others before they have even had their morning coffee. And the first showing, every single time, happens on a screen, not at your front door. So here's the honest question I want you to ask yourself. If your own kids walked into your home today as buyers, not as your kids, but as buyers, what would they notice first? The memories or the things that need fixing? Because I will tell you exactly what today's buyer notices. The leaky faucet, the outdated light fixtures, the carpet that hasn't even been changed since 2003. Buyers in this market don't want a project. They want a home they can move into. And if they see too many of these small things, they do one of two things. They offer you less or they walk away entirely. The fix is simple. Deal with those maintenance issues now, before the listing goes live, because every dollar you spend fixing the small stuff almost always come back 2 or 3 times over in your final sale price. Sellers over 60 in Surrey are losing thousands of dollars right now, not because the market is bad, but because they are using wrong strategies, and those strategies have stopped working years ago. I've seen it happen over and over. And today I'm going to show you how to make sure it doesn't happen to you. Here's something I've seen happening more times than I can count, and it is costing Surrey sellers real money. The seller thinks pricing higher gives them room to negotiate down. It sounds logical, but here's how it actually plays out in today's market. Buyers today have done their homework. They know what comparable homes sold for in your neighborhood, sometimes on your specific street. And if your home is priced noticeably above market, they don't call to negotiate. They just don't call. They move on to the next listing. I had a client, let's call him Bill. He insisted on listing $75,000 above what the market data was. He was certain buyers would come in and work down from there. 3 weeks went by, not a single showing, not one, because the buyers who could afford his home knew the pricing was off, and the buyers who liked the price couldn't qualify for it. We sat down, we looked at the actual sales data together, not what Bill hoped what the market would say, but what it was actually saying. We adjusted the price, and within 2 weeks, we had multiple offers on the table. Bill ended up selling for more than the originally expected price. That was by using a strategy built around what the current market would actually bear. Pricing right the first time isn't giving up money. It is how you make the most of it. Now let's talk about the emotional side of selling, because this is the part most agents gloss over, and it matters more than people realize. I get it. This isn't just a house. This is where you raise your family, where the holidays happen, where your kids took their first steps. The emotional attachment is real, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But here's what I want you to keep front and center as you go through this process. Why are you downsizing? Are you moving closer to family? Are you simplifying your life after decades in the same house? Whatever the reason is, write it down. Keep it somewhere you want to see, because when the inspector finds something unexpected, or the buyer asks for a repair that feels unreasonable, or the negotiation gets uncomfortable, that reason is what keeps you from making an emotional decision that costs you the deal. I've seen sellers kill transactions over things worth just a few $100s. Not because they needed the money, because they got defensive about their house, about their choices, about 30 years of history inside those walls. And the buyers don't see any of that. They see a house they want to buy. If the numbers work, keep the emotions where they belong, in your memories. Keep the transactions where it belongs, in the data. Decluttering, staging, professional photos. These are not optional in 2026. Here's the data behind why. Let me give you the straight truth about 3 things that are no longer optional when selling a home in Surrey in 2026. Decluttering, staging, professional photography. These are not extras, not things you do if you have time, not things you skip because you don't think they matter. There's a difference between a home that sells in 2 weeks and a home that sits on for months and months, collecting carrying cost and price reductions. Start with decluttering. I know it's hard. You have built a lifetime of things inside that house, but here's what I tell every seller I work with. Nobody wants your stuff. Not your kids, not the buyers. Nobody. The less clutter your home has, the bigger it photographs, the faster it sells, and the stronger the offer comes in. That's not opinion. That's a pattern I've seen across more than 1,300 transactions in this market. Then staging and photos, because every single buyer first showing is virtual. They are scrolling through listings on their phone, sometimes while waiting in a drive-thru. If your photos don't stop them from scrolling in the first 3 seconds, they move on and they don't come back. Neutral paint, clean sightlines, natural light, photos taken by a professional who knows how to make a Surrey home look like it's absolutely best online. In 2026, these are the table stakes. Now let's talk about the right agent, because this is the decision that connects everything else. Hiring the wrong agent in today's Surrey market can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. And I don't mean someone who doesn't care or doesn't work hard. I mean someone who doesn't understand what this specific market is doing right now and doesn't have the tools and the strategy to position your home correctly inside out. You need someone who knows the data, who knows what's selling, what's sitting, and why. Who can have an honest conversation with you about pricing even when it is not the numbers you were hoping to hear. That's actually what turned things around for Bill. Not just adjusting the price, but finding an approach that was built around the reality of the current market, not the memory of what the market used to be. Now here's the one thing I want you to stick around for, because I promise you the one mistake that derails more sales than anything else. And here it is. Waiting for the perfect time. I hear it constantly. Should I wait for spring? Should I wait until interest rates drop? Should I wait until the market fully recovers? And my answer, based on 20 years and over 1,300 transactions in this market, is always the same. The best time to sell is when you are ready, not when the calendar says so, not when the news cycle feels right. Sell it when you are personally ready to make the move. In fact, and this is generally surprises most people, listing in fall or winter in Surrey and the Fraser Valley can work in your favor. Less competition, more serious buyers, your home gets more attention. The sellers who chase perfect conditions often miss the very best window that was right sitting in front of them. Stress has a price, and sometimes accepting a fair offer is the smartest financial move you will ever make the whole year. Here's something I want you to factor into your thinking, because almost nobody does. Your stress has a real dollar cost. When you're holding out for an extra 10,000 or 20,000, ask yourself what that holdout is actually costing you. 2 more months of keeping your home show ready, 2 more months of strangers walking through your space, 2 more months of uncertainty hanging over the next chapter. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes, accepting a fair offer quickly and moving forward is the most financially intelligent and personally healthy decision you can make. Because the cost of dragging this process out isn't only measured in dollars, it is measured in your time, your energy, your stress, and the months of your life you spend in limbo instead of moving into the next thing. The right agent helps you understand exactly where to hold firm, and when moving forward is the smarter play. So here's where we actually are, and I will be straight with you. Selling a Surrey home where you have lived for over 60 years in 2026 isn't harder than it used to be, but it is different. And the sellers who understand what's different are the ones walking away with the best results. Price it right from day one. Prepare your home the way today's buyers need to see it, not the way it made sense to show it 25 years ago. Manage the emotional side of the process deliberately and stop waiting for the perfect time, because when you're ready, the right time is now. If you want to know specifically where your Surrey or Fraser Valley home stands right now, what it actually worth in this market, what a realistic timeline looks like, and what strategy makes the most sense for your specific situation, reach out to me. I will give you a real read on it. No obligations, just clarity. Book a free call using the link in the description below, or call me directly at 778-234-2000.